You know those times when you're staring up at the night sky, lost in the immensity of the universe, and you ask for help, guidance, or a miracle? Well, what if instead of keeping on asking, you started on giving? What if instead of begging for a miracle, you began initiating one? That's the counterintuitive advice that Holmes offers. And in today's episode, I want to show you how this shift can change everything. Welcome to this channel, where we unlock the wisdom of the ages to apply to your life right now. And here's the truth. Most of us are taught to pray or manifest by chasing external signs, hoping for a glimpse of a path forward. But Holmes challenges this approach, arguing that the answers, the guidance, the miracles themselves are within us. They're not distant or out of reach. They're closer than you might think. Today, we're diving into Holmes' concept of mental causation, his idea that our thoughts are the creative forces that shape our reality. We'll see how our minds are like fertile soil, how every thought is a seed planted in the soil, and how we can trust the natural laws of the universe to bring forth the harvest. Along the way, we'll discover why luck has nothing to do with this process, what faith means in this context, and most importantly, how we can move from asking for miracles to actually initiating them. So let's get started. First, we must understand that we all have access to what Holmes calls the universal mind, a vast ocean of creative energy. Think of it like a mirror, a screen, or even a silent partner in your life. It doesn't matter what you call it, as long as you understand that it is always there, ready to mirror and magnify your thoughts, feelings, and visualizations. Now, here's the deal. Whatever you impress upon this universal mind will come back to you amplified. If you speak failure, the universe will echo it back to you. If you think abundance, the universe will deliver it. If you visualize healing, healing will begin. This isn't mysticism or wishful thinking. This is mental causation in action. In other words, thought is cause, experience is effect. But here's the twist. Holmes points out that we don't have to rely on the universal mind alone. He says our individual minds are part of this vast whole. They are like extensions of it, like branches of a great tree all connected to the same root system. And this is a game changer because it means you don't have to hold all the answers or do everything yourself. You don't need to be the whole tree. You just need to be a healthy branch growing towards the light. So when you think you don't just have ideas, you are transmitting power. Every mental impression you make is a command to the universal creative force. It's like dropping a pebble into a pond and watching the ripples spread out in circles. Your thoughts create these ripples too. They carry your energy out into the world, and they come back to you transformed into circumstances, experiences, and even people. Now you might be thinking, hold on a minute, what about luck? Isn't some people just getting lucky? Well, according to Holmes, there's no such thing as luck. He's clear on this. We live in a lawful universe, which means there's a natural order to things. Cause and effect, action and reaction, thought and experience. Everything happens for a reason. If you don't like what's showing up in your life, it's not about changing circumstances. It's about changing consciousness. This law is impersonal. It works the same for everyone. It's predictable. It always follows thought, and it's available. You don't need special credentials or permission to use it. You already have it wired into your being. Now let's talk about faith. Because if this idea that our thoughts create our reality sounds a bit shaky to you, how do we know it's true? How do we trust that our thoughts can actually shape our lives? Well, according to Holmes, faith is the answer. But he doesn't define faith as blind hope or wishful thinking. Instead, he describes it as confidence in the invisible creative process, a deep knowing that the universe is always working to bring our desires to fruition. Think of planting a seed in the soil. You water it, care for it, and then you wait. You can't see what's happening underground, but you trust that under the soil, something miraculous is already happening. Even though you can't see the roots growing, the shoot pushing up towards the sun, you have faith in the natural laws of growth and development. And that's exactly how Holmes wants you to approach your goals and dreams. Don't just ask the universe for what you want. Ask yourself, how does this show up in my mind? How do I feel about it? How do I imagine it? Because that's where the real work is, not in begging for a miracle, but in becoming a miracle yourself. Let's sum it up with this quote from Holmes. All that you require is already within you. Go within and find it. Now, I know that might sound a bit vague or overly simplistic, so let me break it down for you. First, you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through your eyes, ears, and heart. You are a unique expression of the divine, a particular melody in the grand symphony of existence. And this realization gives you immense power. You are not at the mercy of circumstances or fate. You are the initiator of your own destiny. Second, your thoughts are like seeds that can either sow doubt or plant possibilities. When you focus on fear and scarcity, you're feeding the worry monster under your bed. But when you shift your attention to creativity and abundance, you're watering the garden of opportunity. Your thoughts have the power to create, so choose them wisely. And third, there's no such thing as luck. The universe doesn't play favorites or hand out lucky breaks. It operates according to the same laws for everyone. The only difference between success and struggle is often a shift in perspective, a change in consciousness. So here's the practical takeaway. Instead of constantly asking for miracles, start initiating them. Start by finding them within yourself. Start with intention. Imagine clearly, feel deeply, and speak your truth. Trust that the universe is listening and responding. You don't have to beg for a miracle. You are a miracle. And when you realize this, your life will change in ways you never imagined possible. Friends, these teachings invite us to make a radical shift in how we perceive ourselves and our place in the universe. It's a reminder that we are not separate from the divine, but rather expressions of it. Our thoughts are creative forces that can shape our reality. And by aligning ourselves with the universal laws, we can co-create our destiny. As we close this episode, I encourage you to embrace the paradox of asking and receiving. While it's essential to have faith in the universe, it's equally important to take inspired action. Don't wait for a sign or a lucky break. Create your own opportunities and be open to receiving the blessings that await you. If you found value in this episode, please show your support. Share this with someone who needs it. And remember, you are the initiator of your own miracles. Keep believing in your power to shape your future and never stop asking. And remember, you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through your eyes, ears, and heart. You are a unique expression of the divine, a particular melody in the grand symphony of existence, and this realization gives you immense power. You are not at the mercy of circumstances or fate. You are the initiator of your own destiny.